Well, our usual weekly updates about AI, and this week doesn't have as many updates as last several weeks where we had the major conferences, Microsoft, Google, you name it. But still, we have a lot of things happening. So one interesting development is Codestral from Mistral. Mistral is a company formed about a year ago in Paris, in France, and they came up with their famous model, Mistral, and then Mixtral, and now they made Codestral. And Codestral is trained to do the coding. And what you can see from these pictures, these tables, that it actually beats other main contestants. So Codestral is only 22 billion parameters. Context length is 32K. Like compare it with Code Llama, which is a famous coding model from Meta, Facebook, DeepSeek, which is a very good model, and Llama 370B. So you see it's longer text. It is very good on human eval, and on others, it's at the top or like better than all others or close to the top, right? So now look at the bottom here for different languages. For Python, it's absolute leader. And for Bash, which is Unix, it's also like for me, it's already case closed because it's good at Python, good at Unix. That's all I need. I don't need Java and PHP, but like in other languages, it's also good. So they changed their license. So now it's not completely open, but it's non-commercial. So for individual use, for research, it's open and it can use, and it's available on Hugging Face. So here are the links. Also, of course, available on their cloud. Okay, XAI, Elon Musk, they received $6 billion in Series B funding for their AI research. They'll be buying a lot of, I guess, Nvidia chips. And now we're looking at this number, 6 billion, and we, like, it's so normal. We've seen so many big numbers floating around, but it's kind of amazing. 6 billion. Okay, and it happened very quickly, by the way. Jake Leike, he was working on Superalignment at OpenAI. He left when Ilya Sutskever left just recently this month, and he already joined AnthropicAI, where he will continue the Superalignment mission. So this is interesting. It looks like OpenAI, many people from this Superalignment group have left, and yeah, so there is this argument. OpenAI claims that they care about safety, but their actions say otherwise. So I don't know. So he has left OpenAI 10 days ago, where he was a co-lead of Sutskever's Superalignment group. Chatbot maker Character.ai. So you see this on the phone, and they're discussing partnerships with Meta and XAI. We'll see what will happen. Andrej Karpathy continues playing with small models. Remember, he created just 1,000 lines of C code to run GPT-2, and then they added CUDA, and now he shows, so here are the links and GitHub, that he can train this model in 90 minutes and $20. That's all it takes to train GPT-2, which is predecessor of GPT-3. So this is great. 01.ai, it is a Chinese company which created very good models. It was like about half a year ago, but now they're changing their licenses. They're going completely open source, so they going to Apache 2.0. Elon Musk is building supercomputer powered 100,000 Nvidia chips, gigafactory of compute. He's making gigafactories to create cars or to create batteries, so now a gigafactory of compute. Okay, Klarna, it's a Swedish company, buy now, pay later. and they provided some statistics. So they already saving $10 million annually due to use of AI in marketing, just in marketing. Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang on track to become the world's richest person, like estimated to reach 91 billion. OpenAI released all features like browse, vision, data analysis, file uploads, and GPTs to free users. So you'll have limits how many calls you can make, but you can experience everything. So this is cool. So it looks like OpenAI is trying to maximize the user base to allow people to experience all the features. OpenAI created new safety and security committee. Remember, I was talking about Ilya Zutskevers, and so now they created their own committee. And what's interesting, Sam Altman is part of it. And Sam Altman was accused of not caring about security. So, but now he's leading this committee. Also, OpenAI started training their new flagship model. Maybe it's GPT-5. We will see. But they mentioned in their blog post that they're starting this, already started this. AI safety pledge at the Seoul AI Safety Summit. So there was a big summit with Microsoft, Amazon, OpenAI, other companies and governments, US, China, Canada, UK, France, South Korea, United Arab Emirates, and made agreement on AI safety. Next is, this is the course from deeplearning.ai, and this is about LlamaIndex, how to build Agentic RAG with LlamaIndex. So you'll build agents capable of intelligently navigating, summarizing, and comparing information across multiple research papers from archive. So this is, I guess, a good course. Like all courses from deeplearning.ai are good, but this is the new one. Okay, SimPO, Simple Preference Optimization. What's about? It's about fine-tuning large language models. The famous method of doing this is RLHF, which is reinforcement learning from human feedback. So the way it works, in addition to your large language model, which you are training, you're creating a second model, which is called reward model. And you train it to predict whether the person, the human person, will like the response or will not like the response. So you train it on, well, relatively small amount of data, but when it is trained, then you can use it to participate in the training of the main big model on a huge amount of data. So this was the first attempt, because you cannot really like ask human feedback on all pieces of training data, right? It's too many. It's impossible. But you involve people on a small piece of it. But then there was DPO, Direct Preference Optimization. So instead of training a separate reward model, like in RLHF, DPO directly uses LLM itself to model human preferences by presenting the model with pairs of its own outputs and asking the LLM itself to predict which one a human would prefer. So you ask the model to generate two answers, and then you ask which answer the model itself thinks it's better. And it actually works. And of course, it's much simpler than train a separate model. But now they came up with yet another approach. So this is the link to the paper. It's called SimPO, which is Simple Preference Optimization. And the idea is, so you remove the need for reference model, like in RLHF, and use the average log probability of a sequence as an implicit reward. So the details are here in the Twitter and in the model. And I will proceed with the next topic. And the next topic is OpenAI, why Sam Altman was fired. So recently there was a lot of revelation in the press and interviews. And for example, Helen Turner, former OpenAI board member, said that Sam Altman was fired for outright lying. She also said that he didn't inform the board about releasing ChatGPT. The board has found out ChatGPT had been released via social media. So OpenAI responded. Two board members, Brett Taylor and Larry Summers, responded. They rejected Turner and Macaulay claims made in The Economist earlier this week. The response cited the law firm's external review, finding no evidence that Altman's firing was due to safety, financial issues, or misleading statements. Taylor and Summers highlighted OpenAI effort with policymakers, support, regulation, and safety commitments. Well, I don't know. What she was saying seems like it may be true. So one of the things, like, well, yeah, if they were not informed about releasing ChatGPT, or also that Sam Altman actually had financial interest in one of the companies of OpenAI. OpenAI has a complicated company structure, so it's supposed to be a non-profit, and he's not supposed to have any financial interest other than the salary, I guess. But it looked like he had, and anyway, complicated legal issue. RAGAs. So the most in-demand skill nowadays is a chatbot developer, right? And chatbots are based on retrieving information from documents or databases. And usually people use vector databases for that, or specialized search tools like, for example, Amazon Kendra. And when you have a RAG system, so this is a diagram of a RAG system. So you ask a question, the question goes to some database or some indexed storage to retrieve relevant documents, and then the large language model, here it's a logo of OpenAI, it creates the response based on the documents which were retrieved. So there are two major parts here, the retrieval and the generation, right? So good indexing and retrieval, so the first part is the key, right? If retrieval is bad and proper information is not found, the generation step will not be able to produce good response. So it's a garbage in, garbage out scenario. So retrieval is absolutely the key. And you need to measure if retrieval are good or not. So how you measure? The two main metrics are precision and recall. So precision, were retrieved documents relevant to the question? And recall, were all relevant documents found? So these are things you can actually measure, and you should measure and improve the retrieval. So quality of retrieval depends on quality of indexing. So usually it has some sort of index. For example, it's a vector database. It definitely has its own index. Quality of indexing depends on pre-processing of the data. That may include splitting data in smaller pieces, maybe even smaller pieces, and then maybe rewriting those pieces into some standard structured format, rewriting text into questions, extracting topics like tags, labels, and adding them as metadata to the index. Rewriting text into some standard format. Example, you want to retrieve resumes depending on what you're looking for. So the question may be find me resumes of people with this and this and this experience and qualifications. But if you just index resumes, it may not work very well. But what you can do in pre-processing, you can take those resumes and you ask large language model to rewrite it into a structured, like a standard form. So all resumes now look similar, right? It may be like a JSON structure, and then you index those. So then it will be, the retrieval will be much more precise and much more consistent. Very simple idea, but pre-processing is very, very important. Okay, next piece is about Anguilla. So this is a small island in Caribbean. So this is the island, and here you can see this is 5 kilometers and 5 miles. So the whole length of the island is 16 miles long. So it's a very small Caribbean island, and it gets 87 million a year from the .ai domains. Since ChatGPT was released, .ai domains became very popular, and this money goes to the island's government, and it is 20% of their total revenue. So it's very interesting. Before the main revenue is from tourism. They have great beaches and so on. Anyway, so this is Caribbean. You can see like Cuba, Havana, Haiti, Puerto Rico. Okay. Next, crowdsourced arena leaderboard. So similar to what we had last time. On top we have GPT-4o, right? It leads like no question. And then here's some free one with the green circles. So you have Llama 370B. You have Yi, which I told you they now become Apache license, and some other models. The GPT 3.5, it's not even here. Like I don't remember, it's placed like 37 or something. So it's not even gets into pack of leaders. Mistral 822, again, Mistral 7B doesn't even fit here. Okay, next is I'm updating this picture, but you can easily see these are layoffs last year, these are layoffs this year. So the situation is much better in tech industry. And as far as AI, there is much more request. Everybody is building chatbots and doing other AI projects. It's very, very simple, just writing Python scripts. Okay, this is me, and thank you.